Imagine this: a clandestine meeting in the dead of night. On one side, a powerful, paranoid king. On the other, wise men from a distant land, guided by a star. This isn't a scene from a fantasy novel. It's a pivotal, yet often overlooked, moment in history. Welcome back to our channel, where today we peeling back the layers of time to uncover the secrets of King Herod's meeting with the Magi. So, who were these Magi? Often called the wise men, they were likely a caste of priests and scholars from Persia, renowned for their knowledge of astronomy, astrology, and dream interpretation. Their arrival in Jerusalem wasn't subtle. They walked into the heart of the city asking, "Where is the one who has been born King of the Jews? We saw his star when it rose and have come to worship him." Now, you have to understand the political climate. Jerusalem was a pressure cooker. King Herod, known as Herod the Great, was a brilliant but ruthless ruler. He was appointed by Rome, not born into Judean royalty, which made his position precarious. He was constantly looking over his shoulder, terrified of any rival who might challenge his throne. He had already executed family members, including one of his own wives and 3 of his sons, out of suspicion. So, when these foreign dignitaries show up, asking about a newborn king you can bet Herod's internal alarms went off like crazy. The Bible tells us that when Herod heard this, he was disturbed, and all Jerusalem with him. This wasn't just personal anxiety. The whole city felt the tension. Herod saw this not as a joyful prophecy, but as a direct threat to his power and legacy. His next move was classic Herod: strategic and deceptive. He couldn't just ignore these influential visitors, nor could he openly show his fear. So, he put on a mask of piety and collaboration. First, he gathered his own experts, the chief priests and teachers of the law. He asked them a simple question: where is the Messiah supposed to be born? Their answer was clear, citing the prophecy of Micah in Bethlehem in Judea. Armed with this crucial piece of information, Herod arranged his secret meeting. He called the Magi to him privately. This wasn't a public court session. It was a covert intelligence gathering. He carefully questioned them to determine the exact time the star had appeared. Why? Because this would give him a time frame and age range for the child he now considered a rival. Then came the master stroke of manipulation. Herod told them, "Go and search carefully for the child. As soon as you find him, report to me, so that I too may go and worship him." He presented himself as a fellow seeker, a devout follower, who wanted to pay homage to this new king. It was a brilliant, chilling performance. He wasn't planning a worship trip. He was planning an assassination. The Magi, likely unaware of the depth of Herod's paranoia, believed him. They left the king's palace and continued on their journey, guided once again by the star, which led them directly to the house in Bethlehem where the young child Jesus was with his mother, Mary. They bowed down, worshipped him, and presented their famous gifts: gold, frankincense, and myrrh. But here's where the story takes a divine turn. After their visit, the Magi were warned in a dream not to go back to Herod. They trusted this celestial warning over the king's command, and so they defied the most powerful man in the region and returned to their country by another route. When Herod realized he'd been tricked, his deception turned to fury. The mask came off, revealing the monster beneath. His response was brutal and horrific. He ordered the execution of all male children in and around Bethlehem who were 2 years old and under, using the timeline he'd so carefully extracted from the Magi. This secret meeting, a quiet conversation cloaked in darkness and deceit, set in motion one of the most tragic events in the biblical narrative. It highlights the clash between earthly power and divine purpose, between paranoia and faith. It's a powerful reminder that history is often shaped not in the grand halls of power, but in the quiet, secret meetings where destinies are decided. What do you think? Were the Magi naive? Or were they simply acting in good faith? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for diving into this piece of history with us. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration. See you next time!